Hi everybody, I am off to AwesomeCon Day 1, which is DC's version of Comic-Con. I have my girls group earrings, I've got Mando and Grogu, I've got my little Star Wars shirt from Castle Life Creations. So today is more of a chill day. E.K. Johnson's going to be there. I'm going to have her sign my Ahsoka book. We're going to check out some of the NASA panels, and I think there's one or two Marvel and Star Wars panels we're going to see today. And then tomorrow I'm going to be dressed as Gamora, and that's when we're going to hear the Karen Gillan talk, and I'm going to get my photo up with her. So today we're just going to kind of wander the Artist Alley floor and see a few fun things. I have my badge and my backpack full of water and snacks and umbrella and all of the things because cons are really long days, so definitely come prepared.
I'm at AwesomeCon! Yeah! This lovely new Ahsoka pin. My camera wants to focus. Aha. She got a fidget.
It's rising, but it's not. The color of the liquid has changed. What's in there is very, very different from what was in there before. And it's just rising. And it's not gonna stop.
There it goes.
Up it goes. Over it goes.
Get my book signed by E.K. Johnson. I like that you have a multitude of colors to choose from. No, I got the book signed.
Now we're off to hear a panel about DNA and dinosaurs.
And then ultimately being able to engineer them. And so first, we have to sort of think about Jurassic Park and around the time they came out, what was going on.
Cheese fries. For Dave.
Detector, there isn't 5 times as much dark matter as there is Earth mass around us. It's only a tiny amount that makes it very difficult.
Pretty. Shing, sparkle, sparkle. Slay.
She's a pretty princess.
She found more squishes. Look at the buzz one. It's so cute. I love the buzz one.
It's the rook.
But they're so cute. She's so pretty.
Let it go.
How excited are you?
So squishy.
So yummy.
How are you doing?
Does it offend you when I call you abominable?
Good morning, it is time for AwesomeCon Day 2. I am Gamora today. As you can see, I've got the coat and the hair and the fit. We're very excited today. Karen Gillan is going to be speaking. I'm going to get my photo with her, which is super exciting. There's a lot of other fun panels today, so we'll see what we end up going to, but come along.
So now we are going to open.
Clap your hands to the beat.
Couldn't finish your coffee. Should we bring it back out? Your coffee?
I was like, is it weird to drink
No.
coffee?
Hey, can we bring your coffee out? How did you travel in? Have you been here? Did you fly in recently? Like how?
So I came from Manhattan yesterday on the train, which was quite cool. I'm usually living on airplanes, but we got to take the train, which was lovely, and I saw a little bit of the White House, and that was cool.
So did you, inspired to be an actress? Is this that you were like longing to do? Like, what was it like, as a young kid?
Well, I actually brought my parents here with me.
Oh, where are they?
I think they be in here, or they ditched me to go and see if they can see Biden. I don't know. But no, we were eating dinner last night together, and we were sort of just reminiscing and getting all nostalgic. And they were telling me how when I was really young in school, I used to go around doing this like voice of like an American Southern granny. That kind of sounded like this. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this in front of people. And so like that was like this thing that I used to do, and I started doing it around school when I was like really young. And then we were like, oh, it's so obvious that I was gonna go into acting. Like, I don't really know what it is that attracts me to it, but there's something about escaping myself for a start that's quite nice and relieving. And second of all, like probably just feeling like I really want to express myself, but being a little bit shy in my own body. So maybe it's my weird route to being able to express myself by pretending to be somebody else.
But it just seemed like it was impossible. So were you also looking for a potential MCU role? And when you read that script, what are you thinking? Like, it just seems crazy.
I wasn't actively looking for an MCU role because that also seemed really implausible to me, because that was like, what? That's like the biggest films in America? Like, what? So I wasn't like even asking for that because I didn't even think of it because it seemed far-fetched. But then my agent called and she was like, are you willing to shave your head? And I was like, what for? She said, Marvel, and I was like, yeah. For Marvel. And so then I like went in for an audition, and I remember like being on the phone with my team being like, I'm gonna be bald, am I gonna be bald? And they were like, can you just calm down, you haven't even like, you've done one audition. They're auditioning everyone. But then, yeah, I got to do a recall in London, and I got to meet James Gunn, and we just like sat in his office, and I met his dog Wesley, and he talked about what he was gonna do with the film, and the tone of it and everything. Because I hadn't even read the script by that point, because they're so secretive. So yeah, I just kind of trusted him, and also I think I wasn't even thinking beyond the fact of like, am I gonna get to be in a Marvel film? Like, I don't know. I wasn't thinking like, people don't know the Guardians of the Galaxy or anything. I had like a lot of trust in Marvel because of just the previous films that had come before. But yeah, it was, I couldn't believe that I got that. It was wild. And then I got to read the script after I got the role.
How extensive was how long were you in the makeup chair for?
So I'm usually in the makeup chair for 4 hours in the morning, and we have to be ready to shoot on camera by 8 a.m. So you can imagine what time I'm setting the alarm. Which, it's hard. That's like the hardest part of the job, is the putting the makeup on. And then what comes after that is I get to play a character that I love so much. So it's suddenly like, oh, it's worth it. But it's not the nicest sensation at 5 o'clock in the morning. I feel like I'm being operated on. And then I also share a makeup truck with Home Clementief, who plays Mantis. And she rolls in at a lovely hour, and then she looks like she's getting spa treatments with her rose water and her diffuser. And I've got scalpels in my face. I'm like so jealous of her.
Dave Barclay. Yes, I started puppeteering with my parents when I was a child. Both my mum and dad are puppeteers, so I grew up with puppetry seeming completely normal. So I wanted to follow their sort of puppetry leads, but I didn't want to do live theatre like they did. They were originally actors. I wanted to get into TV and film, and by lucky circumstances, I got to work on The Empire Strikes Back when I was 19. So that launched my career, and then got to work with Mike on Dark Crystal. So we've known each other a couple of weeks.
A couple of centuries, I think now, isn't it?
Feels more like a couple of centuries. Yoda was main puppeteer was Frank Oz.
Right.
I originally came in as part of the build crew, but then I was drafted in to do the eyes when one of the puppeteers couldn't do it. So I was David, go to the set and start working Yoda's eyes. So no rehearsal, didn't have to audition. I just turned up and started doing it. Frank liked what I did, so I stayed on.
So when Yoda slowly turns his eyes and says things like, "Oh, you will," that you are the eyes.
I'm doing the eyes, yeah. And then at the end of the shoot, Frank had to go off and do another job, so he nominated me to take over. So I did become chief puppeteer for Yoda on Empire at age 19.
Amazing.
So that launched my movie puppeteering career.
Doing the voice and the guy voice and the head movement, right, and jaw and some of the body stuff. So Dave was like the lead puppeteer for Jabba.
What's the difference with working with a smaller character like that and then what you have to then do for the larger characters? Physically, is there a lot of difference?
Yeah, I mean, one's the traditional hand puppet, sort of much like a Muppet, that was Yoda, and then Jabba's a big body puppet, so there's a big fiberglass chest piece that we called the cockpit, and put my right arm through that, and they put a rubber Jabba arm with an extended mechanical fingers for his three-fingered hand, and then my left hand went under his throat and in a mouth to the jaw mechanism. so I could operate that. And Toby and I, between us, we could move the body around because it was suspended on springs on a turntable.
No, you do yoga, don't you?
Yes.
Yoga.
Yes, I'm yoga.
What's yoga. Have you got a yoga mat down there?
Yeah, so this is the actual size of the original Yoda from Empire Strikes Back. So this is the size of the puppet. So he's a replica that I've personally built. I sculpted the head and from the original cast of the head, and I've internally mechanized him so that he can move his eyes and his ears and his mouth. So just to give everyone an idea.
So a lot has happened since I talked to you all last. We went to the Karen Gillan panel, which was so much fun. I'm actually off to get my photograph with her now. And then I saw Dave Barkley and Mike Quinn, who did puppetry for the Muppets, for Yoda in Empire Strikes Back, and for Jabba the Hutt, which was really cool. He got to do some Yoda at the end, so I'll be including some of those clips. But we're off to get our photo, and then we'll be taking going to some more panels and seeing some friends. So I just got my photo with Karen, and I walked up and she just said, "Oh, hello, sister." And I was like, "Hello." She was very sweet. They're always very quick, but she was very sweet. She's very tall. She was wearing heeled boots, so she looks really, really tall in the picture.
I found BB-8.
They're so cute. I think it probably does move. I don't know. So cute. So many people have asked for pictures, and there's some amazing Marvel costumes that I'll insert some of the photos here. Emily's got her little 6 fit on today. Say hello to the vlog. She's a queen. Bye, Carl. And Guerrero. We can hear the music. Got to know. Welcome to the family magic. We're on our way.
I was actually at an award show, the Imagen Awards, so which is these awards for Latin artists, and we all kind of get together and appreciate our work. It's a nice time. And I was giving a speech, and then I kind of like sang like a little ditty. As part of my act. I gotta let everybody know all my talents. So I did that, and there was a producer there from Disney, and Yvette Marino, and she heard me sing, and I guess it was just like in that time where in Back to the Future when they hear that sound, right, and they're like, "That's the you've been looking for." No, she saw me and she was like, "I think she'd be, we should audition her for the movie." And I think that's how it started. But it was a moment where I was on stage and I decided to share that because in some way I'm like, I want somebody to know that I do this, and if anyone wants to collaborate with me and work on something that I really love, and it's kind of like how we share things about ourselves, and that was a moment where I did it, and it really came to life and beautiful.
Right, I'm headed home from AwesomeCon. Literally shook. Most of my makeup is still on. I've been touching my face, but literally shook that it stayed on all day. So that was super fun. Karen Gillan was super nice. Got to hear her speak and got a photo up with her. And we went to Diane Guerrera's talk, and that was fun. She's in Encanto. It was a lot of fun too. So see you tomorrow for day 3.
Good morning. We are getting ready for AwesomeCon day 3. It's Sunday. I am Ahsoka today. I've got a her universe dress on. I just put a few little clip-in hair things in my hair. They look like this. So I have the Ahsoka colors of blue, white, and orange in my hair. I did the Ahsoka-esque makeup. I've got in my Mando and Grogu earrings from Girls Crew. I'm meeting Ashley Eckstein today, so very excited for that. There's going to be a Clone Wars panel, so I'll get to hear the 3 main characters speak, and that'll be really fun. There's a Star Wars meetup today too, and there's a whole like Star Wars fan experience area that I'm gonna go take some photos in, so really excited, and come along.
Holograms, look at the little box. They're so cute. Oh my goodness. R2! All the Star Wars stuff. Look at little Babu Frick. You're interested in Lola. What did you get?
I got, oh my god.
Show us. She can get it out the bag. Oh my god.
And
it's so squishy.
It's so squishy. And a dragon egg. Is that a rock?
It's so pretty. Space. That's a panel.
As you look back on 15 years, and really when when you were starting out 15 years ago, the Star Wars landscape was much different. So as you kind of look back 15 years, what's your reflections? What's your thoughts on the Clone Wars, and especially like what it's kind of meant to fandom? So, Ashley wants to kick us off.
Well, I've been a Star Wars fan ever since I could remember. I mean, I was a toddler watching A New Hope. It was on VHS. Kids don't know what that is.
Google it.
It's
in the Smithsonian.
But so when I was cast as Ahsoka, I felt like I won the lottery. Especially getting a chance to create and originate a new character. I really felt like I won the lottery. But I also realized it was a responsibility. And a responsibility that I did not take lightly, because I know that as a Star Wars fan, it's not just like a trend. It's not something you're into in one day and then you're out of. It's a way of life. It's a way you see your life. It's a lifestyle. And so I took it very seriously. And then when I really fell in love with Ahsoka, and I discovered how powerful and incredible of a character she was, I was like, oh my gosh, I just hope that one day Star Wars fans learn to love Ahsoka like I do. And now it's incredible to see so much Ahsoka.
Matt, how about looking back on that for your reflections?
I think some big takeaways are, obviously a new beloved character with so much Ahsoka fandom and now the show. I think that also Star Wars television, there really wasn't television. We had the micro series, which I know you know all about, but really, the Clone Wars was the first kind of television Star Wars content territory, and I think the success of the Clone Wars is really, now feeding all this amazing Star Wars television we have nowadays. Now, I don't know if it would have happened without the Clone Wars. Maybe it would. Also, I think from a character standpoint for Anakin, I think it really helped develop that character. We got to see him in a heroic aspect we heard about, but we didn't. I know a lot of you that have seen me at my table, we've talked about it, but we saw Anakin as the hero that we heard he was, but we didn't really get to see it in the films. But we got to see it in the Clone Wars, and you rooted for him, and it makes his fall so much more tragic.
It's to you to embody that character, because she's so unique and different, but so important.
Well, a lot of people might not realize that I was cast as Ahsoka to just be myself. And because they didn't know what they wanted for Ahsoka. Originally, Dave Filoni thought that Ahsoka should have an Icelandic accent. And, he didn't tell anyone this, but he wanted her to sound like New York. And,
how's your Icelandic accent?
Horrible. Absolutely horrible. And so when I went into the audition, I actually originally auditioned for Padme. And I was super bummed because I love Padme, but I sounded nothing like Padme. And so I thought I had no chance. And I almost left the audition. And then my agent was like, no, please go in because you never know what could happen. And so I went in and said the first line is Padme, and sure enough, Dave Filoni stopped me and he was like, no, you sound nothing like Padme. But he's like, but there's this new she's a 14-year-old girl, and we think you might be right for her. But then they told me that they wanted her to sound Icelandic. That's not an accent that I just like have in my pocket. You know, so I did my best, but it was awful. So I still can't do it to this
We
day.
still have not gotten her to get that.
I know, because it's been 17 years since I did that audition. But somehow I got a call back, and they told me to practice my Icelandic. And so I did. I went to a dialect coach, and I thought I had mastered Icelandic. And then I go back in, and I say the first line in Icelandic, and Dave Filoni stops me again, and he was like, "No, can you make it sound more Icelandic?" And I was so frustrated. I did something I would normally never do, and I talked back to the director, and I said, "I'm sorry, but I am doing Icelandic. I don't know what you want." And that got me the part. I didn't realize it. And so, anyways, when I showed up on the first day of work, I was so shocked because, you know, I couldn't do Icelandic. And they were like, no, we don't want you to do Icelandic. We just want you to be yourself. And I feel very blessed because Dave Filoni, we very much collaborated. And, you know, he did all the writing, him and his writing, you know, staff, they created the story and what she looks like. But I had a huge say in how she sounded, and her personality, and her humor, and her sarcasm, and her wit. And all of us, they filmed our faces when we recorded, and so a lot of our expressions are on the characters. So a lot of Ahsoka's expressions are actually my own expressions. So it's really cool. In many ways, Ahsoka is me because I was asked to bring myself to Ahsoka. But now, I would say Ahsoka's grown so much, I'm more like Ahsoka because she's inspired me.
A long time ago in a studio far, far away, we were creating something that I think we all kind of hoped would become something special. And once those fortune cookies, as we call them, came out, and you realize the parents are sitting, they grew up with Star Wars, watching now with their kids, and there's lessons that can be learned, so it's meaningful, but it's Star Wars on a weekly basis. We get to do what Star Trek had done all those years ago, was get, like you say, go into people's homes every weekend. And it was also when social media was brand new. So we were able to interact with all of you in a way that nobody else had ever really got to do, and I think that's what made it really special. And then these two especially really knew how to take that, and because they're very young, you see. I'm the old man here, and old Ben Kenobi. But they were able to get all of us to interact in a way that I think is now something we take for granted. But it was really the first time that a show got to do that. And I give so much credit to my co-stars, not only for being tremendous actors, but really also being able to connect with all of you in a new way. And Ashley herself has just done this amazing connection with you all, from creating a clothing line that we take so much for granted now. But Ashley is so responsible for that with her universe. And then we take for granted hunky Matt Lanter for being hunky.
Wars would come back. I didn't think we would get a season 7, so I thought that was probably the last time we were ever going to record together.
Yeah, it was odd. It was odd to be in the booth with her and telling her that you will die. You know, it was it was interesting, and it was also just a really, really cool creative choice made by Dave and George, the powers that be, to hear Anakin, but also hear Vader, and kind of like, it's just fun to talk about. Was he trying to bait Ahsoka? Because was he full Vader at that moment and kind of baiting her in? Or was there a little bit of Anakin there? And he was seeing her kind of brought out some of the Anakin. It's kind of fun to talk about, but yeah.
Cool.
I would have to say, you can kill me, but you'll never destroy me. It takes strength to resist the dark side.
Yeah.
Only the weak can resist sorry. Those moments with
Those were fantastic and lawless. Those were stunning for me because I didn't know what was coming. I got the script that day, and while I was reading it is when I found out, sorry, spoiler alert, it's Satine. So I did not know. So those emotions were real. And so that was probably, and then also getting to do in the Mortis arc, you are my brother, Anakin! Getting to do some of those classic lines was really very fun too. So those were probably for me.
So it's been a hot second since I updated you all. I had a very fun morning, wandered around, saw some of the artwork in the booths, went to the Women in NASA panel, then I went to the Clone Wars 15th anniversary Star Wars panel, which was super fun, and then I just went to the Star Wars meetup, met a lot of other fans, just super fun, lots of lightsabers, and then I'm off to get my photo with Ashley Eckstein, and then I think I'm going to go to the Resistance is the Way panel before I maybe purchase a piece of artwork before the con is over, so let's meet Ashley. So that was super fun. I got my photo with Ashley. She is the sweetest human. I was the last photo person in my group, so I actually got to stand there and talk with her a few minutes. She told me I looked amazing. She loved this is her dress from her universe, and she loved my paint and my hair, and I told her how much I love this dress because it has pockets and it's super soft and comfortable. She was just so sweet.
I just tricked Justina into saying nice things about me, and then I'm like, whew, I can go back to work now, but I feel like I'm outside.
Alright, I just got home from my last day at AwesomeCon. Just wanted to show you a few of the artwork things that I did get. So on Friday, I got this beautiful Ahsoka pin right here for my backpack from the Nerdwear store. She was a really cute, women-owned local small business. So that was super fun. And then today, I've been waiting for the last 3 years of AwesomeCon to ponder getting this artwork. It's from Tony Santiago Art. He does the most beautiful nerd artwork pieces. But I got Captain Marvel here, as you can see, just super nice. And then I got the Scarlet Witch one to go up in my room as well, which is super lovely. And then, not artwork, but are things that I also paid for. Met Karen Gillian from Marvel. She was super nice. I got to hear her panel. And then I met Ashley Eckstein today, which was so lovely. She's the nicest human. Heard her in the Clone Wars panel today, along with the voice actor for Anakin and Obi-Wan. And then I had my photo op with her. I was the last person in the photo op line today, and so I actually stood there for a minute or so and talked with her. I'm wearing her universe dress, and she loved my fit. She was very sweet, and we were just talking about women, clothing designed for women by women. This dress has pockets, it's super soft and comfortable, and it accents the right places, and just she had the experience. 15 years ago when Clone Wars started, that there was no clothing, nerd fandom clothing for women. It was all t-shirts in the men's section. So it was really cool. She started this whole company. It's really cool because it's cute, fun nerdwear. And she was so nice, but always very sad that AwesomeCon is over. I'll be going to New York Comic-Con in October for the first time, so very excited for that. And then AwesomeCon is actually going to be in March next year, which is very early on in the year. So I'll be planning some more cosplays for that, and I'm very excited. But thanks for tuning in. Hope you're happy, safe, and well, and I'll see you real soon.